I'm Devin.
I'm Kelvin.
And we are Aqua Aware.
Our UN Sustainable Goal is clean water and sanitation in Southern California.
Let's begin.
Water. That's one of the things we need and depend on to keep us and the things around us alive. One of the most important resources in the world, but due to the recent fire and drought, the quality of it has been affected. So how exactly have the droughts and fires affected clean water in Southern California? We hypothesize that if there are more droughts and fires in Southern California, there will be less usable clean water.
The fire in California is now the state's largest wildfire since the 1930s.
Tonight, that series of fires still scorching Southern California. Roughly 116,000 acres now burned.
The Thomas Fire was one of the biggest disasters in California history. It cost $297 million in damages and cost and burned about 281,893 acres. In August 2017, the average daily gallons used by each residential customer was about 100.70 gallons. So what effects did the fires have on providing clean water? Well, because of the fire, the amount of water used went way up, and firefighters used so much water that the pressure actually stopped the water flow, and people had to boil their water so they could drink it because, well, the fire contaminated it. According to the Daily News, and I quote, "The deadly North San Francisco Bay fires of last October, about 11.1 million gallons of water were used, just compared to 3 million gallons of fire retardant, according to a CAL FIRE spokesman. That is a lot of water wasted." We interviewed a local expert, the manager of resources at Collegius Water District in Thousand Oaks, Mr. Eric Berg, over email, and this is how he responded to a couple of our questions. Our first question was, how is clean water in Southern California affected by the droughts and fires? Generally speaking, I think you will find the impact is largely water runoff laden with ash and debris that limit an agency's ability to replenish surface reservoirs and groundwater recharge basins. Our third question was, what are we using the water for? 95% of Collegius water supply is for municipal and industrial uses, 5% for agriculture. Our final question was, what are your plans for the future? The salinity management pipeline collects salty water generated by groundwater desalinating facilities and excess recycled water and conveys the water for safe discharge to the ocean where natural salt levels are higher. So then, how is clean water in Southern California affected by the droughts and fires? Well, The Verge states, wildfires are spreading unchecked across Southern California, adding more infernos to the state's worst fire season on record. A warm, dry fall in Southern California and strong offshore winds combine to create dangerous fire conditions that will probably get worse. As the winds continue to blow, a dome of warm, high-pressure air is forming over the west coast that could keep California dry and flammable for weeks to come. Just like the Thomas Fire, they are hard to contain, but easy to spread. But Devin, why not use ocean water to put out the fires? Well, according to Fire Captain Larry Kurtz, ocean water can be used to fight fires, but because salt is corrosive, they have to wash out the aircraft with fresh water afterwards, he said. On the other hand, the damage to agriculture is lethal because it alters the pH of the soil, so plants that grew there could die or grow after years, which is not good. In forest issues, the damage may not be so serious because the trees over time can grow back if the soil is treated. The greatest damage occurs in small crop plantations. We asked Mr. Russ Baggerly, the director at the Casitas Municipal Water District, a couple questions over the phone, and this is how he responded. How is clean water in Southern California affected by the droughts and fires?
All the runoff material. It has created an almost cement-like substance in the Ventura River so that the percolation is not taking place for the underground aquifers in the Ventura River.
So what is the water we get coming from, like in Casitas?
The water we get comes from two sources, Devin. It comes from water that falls from the sky as rainfall, and it comes from groundwater, or rain that percolates into the ground as groundwater.
My next question is, what are we using the water currently for?
We're using the water for residential, agricultural uses, municipal and industrial uses.
The drought has affected most of Southern California by drying up our water resources. According to News Deeply, Casitas Municipal Water District, the largest water provider in Ventura County, only holds enough water for the next 5 years. The long-term future is the biggest concern. The state's drought means local water agencies must monitor and enforce conservation efforts. This has led to the number of days residents can water their lawns and other rules. According to CNBC and LA Times, the areas in Southern California that remain in extreme drought conditions are Santa Barbara counties and Ventura counties, as well as other portions of Los Angeles. The city of Ventura relies mostly on local water resources, including surface and groundwater. Some of these sources include Lake Casitas, Ventura River, and groundwater basins. However, there are a couple problems. Lake Casitas is less than halfway full, sitting at 35.5%. Ventura gets about 25% of its water from Lake Casitas. Groundwater basins are also affected by the drought. The drought makes the height of the groundwater lower. If water is pumped at a faster rate than an aquifer is recharged by rain, water levels can drop. According to VC Star, Ventura County could someday get a portion of its drinking water from the ocean. This can be done by taking out the salt from the ocean water. But unfortunately, it isn't that simple. The biggest issue of desalination is the cost. There are also environmental concerns related to ocean life that can get trapped in the intake pipes. Treated ocean water is about twice as expensive as water from the State Water Project, and as much as 3 times as expensive as pumping, treating, and delivering groundwater from local aquifers. Most of the extra cost is due to energy costs in treating and delivering the water. There are things we can do in our house to help conserve water. Some of the things we can do is taking a 5-minute shower instead of a 10-minute shower, only using the washing machine when it's full load, running the dishwasher when it's full, and turning off the faucet when brushing your teeth. So if there's an increase in droughts and fires in Southern California, there will be less usable clean water for us. Overall, we learned how local fires and droughts can use and waste our water. Our hypothesis is right because we lose our water to such horrible things.